Welcome back to another high school league recap. It's your boy Nizzy providing this one this week. It's week 4, Rocket League Division 1. We had Somerset up against Forest Hills, Gateway taking on Berlin Brothers Valley, Penn Trafford at Bishop Carroll, and the bye this week it goes to Hollidaysburg. Let's take a look at our top 5 plays. Starting off at number 5, it's going to be Berlin Brothers Valley standing tall in the net. Scoreline's 1-0, and it will remain that way because of iconic Caden. What a great save there off that shot from Gateway. Looking at number 4, it's going to be Vaco with the flip reset. Nice save coming in there from Somerset, but that one eventually goes home. Good assist there from Vaco. Take a look at number 3 for this week. It's going to be an incredible save from Joler. Going across the crease, making that save for number 3. And now at number 2, it's Pig Beast. Pig Beast deacon and weaving. Deacon and weaving. Right, left, right into the net. Love that play from Pig Beast. And number 1, it's going to be Pig Beast again. Going up. Off the wall. Gets the double tap. And in the net for your number 1 play this week. Congrats to Pig Beast. Somerset taking out Forest Hills 3-1. Gateway 3-0 over Berlin's Brothers Valley. And here are the standings. Penn Trafford and Hollidaysburg undefeated. So we will see how things mix up in week number 5. Nizzy's out.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to week number 5 of the Esports Company's High School Division 1 Rocket League. Unfortunately, our first game got canceled, but we're here now for the second game. Well, technically the first game of the day. I am Sis, and joined alongside me today is the legend himself, Wilson. How are we doing today?
Hey, I'm doing great, man. Thank you for that fantastic intro. We're starting off with an incredible matchup, and then we have another great matchup right after that. Should be good to get into, and let's take a look at the standings right now in the league. Penn Trafford still at that number 1 spot with the 4-0 record, followed behind in second by Somerset, who they are playing today. So got a bit of a Clash of the Titans matchup here today. 4-0 against 3-1, 1 against 2, whichever one you want to call it. And then at the other number 2 spot, of course, is Hollidaysburg, sitting at 3-1 with Forest Hills in 4th with that 2-2. And then Gateway 2-3, followed by Bishop Carroll at 1-4, and then Berlin Brothers Valley at 0-5. But I think the big storyline that everyone's going to be looking at tonight is definitely the 1 spot against one of the 2 spots.
Yeah, and of course, coming into this, everyone's been hyping up Penn Trafford for being so good this season, but Hollidaysburg has also been pretty good. But with that, we're going to look at the schedule for today. Game number 1, like we mentioned, unfortunately did get canceled, so we're not going to be able to see that one. It will be rescheduled, though. For this first start, it's going to be Hollidaysburg and Penn Trafford, number 1 versus number 2. And then following that is going to be Bishop Carroll versus Forest Hills, with Berlin Brothers Valley taking on the bye week. And with that being said, the roster's now, Wilson, tell us who's going to be playing for Hollidaysburg.
Yeah, the lineup we got for Hollidaysburg today is, of course, Big Poppy. Trolley Made coming in as a sub. Interesting to see what happens with that. And then I believe Nissy? Is that how you say?
Nathan 517.
Okay.
The legend himself.
That is how you say that. Okay. I will keep that in mind. And then, of course, the number 1 seed, Penn Trafford, you have PK and Rye as well as Burb. These guys are tough to beat so far. So maybe we see their first defeat of the season or continue on their rampage of being undefeated.
They have looked so good throughout the last season and this season. They have been playing completely lights out. But hey, don't sleep on Hollidaysburg. They're right behind them at the 2 spot, 3-1. Unfortunately, that sub though, with Donald Duck
Yeah.
not playing, he was one of my favorite players to watch them play, and he's not playing today. So Wilson coming into this, Penn Trafford might have that slight edge.
Yeah, that's definitely something to keep in mind. If you're watching that, well, while you're watching this, I should say, is having iTrolley Man on that other spot. But speaking of the game, we are getting into game number 1 here, and it looks like we're going to see a little bit of 50-50s to start things off, but unfortunately nothing coming out of it, and an early chance by Hollidaysburg, unfortunately unable to capitalize, and now the counterattack begins.
And pass over to Burb, and we see this deadly duo oftentimes. They're most clearly leading the front almost in every single offensive push for their team. PK left alone on defense, and PK doing what PK does. He is a solid rock on the defensive side of things. Oh, wait a second.
Oh,
maybe a solid shot too.
Yeah, just enough lift on that ball to reach over Hollidaysburg as a whole, and Penn Trafford, number 1 for a reason, showing out here very early on.
It looked like Poppy just couldn't quite get that read off of that launch. I mean, it's still a great shot from PK nonetheless, so like he can't really oust him there, but Penn Trafford starting off like we generally see them do.
Yeah, and right now, if you're Hollidaysburg, you need to find a way to regain and get the ball into the end of Penn Trafford and get something going. We see Demo come out here onto Rye. However, ball still advancing towards Hollidaysburg's end, but will get cleared out eventually. And right now, it's looking like Penn Trafford might have a little more in the possession game.
PK, we see him just taking the boost all the way back to his corner. Has a lot of time to do that. Will get met with a challenge by Trolley. Burb a little bit awkward in that corner. He's not going to be able to make contact. Now Nathan will come in. We see that big pass. Poppy's out quickly, and what a save from PK.
That is textbook defense right there, and now you have to be careful you don't overextend, and Nathan there to save that on the end of Holidays. Right now, both teams showing us why they are some of the top teams in this league. This is absolutely unreal to start off, and the hype has not disappointed so far.
Evenly matched game 1. Of course, the early goal from Penn Trafford. Other than that, not too much going on. A few nice saves here as Rye a little bit far away from this. One's going to have to recollect himself. We'll pass it out to the midfield, and PK will beat out one, but it's going to be an easy clear here for Poppy. Rye waiting there lurking. We see this happen a lot. Penn Trafford, while they're such a fast team, they can play the possession game too. They can play patient and just wait for you to give them the ball, and we see them doing it here.
Yeah, it's definitely something you have to be careful about too, especially if you're struggling for goals. They're waiting for you to overextend and get to that area, but meanwhile, while I'm speaking there, PK with a great shot, Burb with, or no, sorry, Big Poppy with the save, and iTrolley Man gets a save right in succession, but the ball is just absolutely just peppering the goal of Hollidaysburg, but they eventually get it out, and now a potential counterattack, but that ball does go wide, and now Penn Trafford back on the offense.
Hollidaysburg, a little bit of clumping going on right now with the players. It's going to force Poppy to make an awkward save, and I think really they're just getting a little bit tight, a little bit panicky on the defensive side of things right now. Just very awkward on the rotation. So much pressure from Penn Trafford. We're going to see PK secure another big boost, and Hollidaysburg, they are just constantly getting shot after shot. That's going to be another one off the miss on the backboard, and finally the defense breaks.
Yeah, PK's second goal. We also saw a couple of double teams there, or double commits there on the end of Hollidaysburg, and Penn Trafford makes them pay. 2-0 Penn Trafford here in game 1 with 2:06 left.
And Penn Trafford really controlling the boost on the field as well. We're seeing a lot of them go for demos, go for the big boost pass, just trying to starve out. That's a nice pass. Not quite able to get that one on target as right. That's a dangerous touch though. PK is going to take another shot off the crossbar, but it doesn't matter if that really goes in. They are just wasting time on the clock right now.
Yeah, and if you're Hollidaysburg, you want to try and get some good looks to goal, but you also need to make sure you don't overextend, because that is where you can get punished if you have no one back in defensive rotation. but you also have to make sure you don't play too defensive to where you have no offense. And right now, it is all Penn Trafford as they just absolutely pepper the goal of Hollidaysburg. And yeah, not a good start if you're a fan of Hollidaysburg.
10 total shots for Penn Trafford already. 10 shots, and the game's not even over yet. Hollidaysburg only 2 to their name. Wait a second. Speaking of overcommitting, you literally just talked about it.
Yep.
Don't play too aggressive.
I was talking about it more on the end of Hollidaysburg, but I guess the same also applies for Penn Trafford as they make a mistake on the defensive end, caught out, no one left in goal, and that's a wide open net. And I don't think Nathan 517 really misses those a lot.
No, I don't think so either. That maybe this is a momentum boost for Hollidaysburg, but PK wants to take it right back. Rye's gonna launch this one to the backboard. Maybe the double attempt has a setup, but can't get it to go. Poppy in a 1v1. Burb, great challenge to get that one out. Now under a minute to go here, Wilson. It seems like Penn Trafford a little bit on their edge right now by Hollidaysburg.
Yeah, it definitely seems so. And we see a 50-50 ball. No one comes out on top of that. I guess you could say Penn Trafford did a little bit. And what a move! PK makes it a 3 for the hat trick, trying to put out any doubts in their mind that this game will not go their way. Seemingly putting the team on his back. I mean, 7 shots, 3 goals, and 2 saves. He's doing it all for Penn Trafford.
PK being the star, no shocker there. He's one of their best players, especially on the defensive side of things. But I guess today he's wanting to play a lot of offense. Here's going to be in a 1v1 and easily denied there. 30 seconds to go just about here for Hollidaysburg, and they really need a goal right now, but they can't be playing defense as Rye's going to air dribble that all the way down the field, and that is just chunks of time being wasted.
Yeah, Hollidaysburg needs a goal and needs it fast. 18 seconds left on the clock. Burb, just enough of a touch to get it around, but Nathan doing a great job of sticking with it. Hollidaysburg needs a goal right here, but time slowly slipping through their hands like sand. And now it looks like first map does indeed go to Penn Trafford as they try and get a last-second goal. PK, MVP of the match, deservingly so. I mean, he was everywhere, it seemed, on that field.
726 points, outscoring his teammates by a milestone, doubling their combined score. 2 saves, 3 goals, 7 shots, really doing everything for his team. And Hollidaysburg, they, up until the end there, towards the latter half of getting that goal, they had a little bit of momentum. But I mean, overall, Wilson, it was just Penn Trafford doing Penn Trafford things, non-stop offense.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself. I mean, it just seemed like every time the ball left the half of Hollidaysburg, Penn Trafford was there to clean it up and bring it back towards their goal, just absolutely peppering it. And honestly, there's not really much you can do at that point besides play perfect defense. And unfortunately for Hollidaysburg, they do drop round 1. However, it is best of 5, so it's they still have a chance to come back in this one.
Oh, most definitely. And of course, game 1 jitters, it's going to happen. You're playing against what is arguably the best team in the league right now in your school league, but you still have to make changes. You're still going to have to adapt. Of course, it's easier said than done because this is what we've seen every single time Penn Trafford has played this season. They are just nonstop offense. They get the boost. They control the field so well that the teammates or the team on the other side, they are left scrambling.
Yeah, and another thing you said is PK is normally the defensive anchor, and in that game, he was the defensive anchor. He was the centerer. He was the scorer. He was the shooter. It doesn't matter what he did. He was everywhere. And so maybe if you're Hollidaysburg, you want to try and possibly shut him down. But we get into game number 2 here. Hollidaysburg down 1-0 to Penn Trafford. Of course, number 1 team in the league against number 2. And things starting off again in the end of Penn Trafford.
Maybe a good look here for Hollidaysburg. Not really too much offense, but they still have the ball now. Nathan's going to air dribble it past 1. A nice little double touch. A double coming here for Penn. It looked like they were trying to pinch that together. Weren't able to do it, but I like the idea. That's a dangerous touch. Trolley can't get that one, though. And now Penn Trafford looks to set up their offense.
And does he get to it? He does. Great save there from Nathan. And now they need to try and get this ball out of the end. That's kind of a dangerous ball, and Rye makes them pay. unable to get the ball out. Rye coming from out of the air to pick that one out and put it in the back of the net for a 1-0 for Penn in favor of Penn Trafford.
Hollidaysburg just not looking like their usual form right now. They are not getting the normal reads that they have. They're not getting normal touches. They're making awkward touches. The defensive rotations seem a little bit off. I think this is mainly due to the fact of just who they're playing, but still, you've got to clean up those careless mistakes and clean up your touches right now.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And honestly, I think it's just I don't think they were expecting the constant pressure. And Trolleyman gets taken out, and they're just not quite able to clear that one out. And PK adding to his goal total. Great flip reset onto the ball there. Kind of just trickles in there. Big Poppy almost getting onto the end of it. Not quite able to do so. And right now, Penn Trafford up 2-0 here early on.
And actually, man, we just saw him very awkward on the back end of things. Managed to fall off the post, had the recovery, but got demoed for his efforts. That's a little bit of a back pass. It's going to work in Nathan's favor. Still beats out one accidental pitch from Burb. It's not going to be in. A good demo from PK, but Charlie, man, still has the ball in front of the net. It's going to fake that one, but don't know if that was the greatest idea. No one had been up for that. That's another infield pass. Nathan with the shot.
What a
and guess
save.
who's on defense? PK.
There goes that man once again, absolutely coming from out of nowhere to seemingly make that save. I thought for sure that Hollidaysburg was going to get a goal back there, but it's all defense by Penn Trafford. Burb is there to stop that. However, that's a double commit. But no, Hollidaysburg double commits on their own, and it fails to score on a wide open net. Those are the mistakes you need to convert on if you're Hollidaysburg down 2-0 here.
They're going to be kicking themselves after that one. Still lots of time left in this game. You're down 2-0, maybe 3-0. That's a great save from Nathan, but the ball's not out yet. Bird's not going to be able to make contact, though. And PK will take it up the sidewall. Actually, no, Burb cut him off. He's still going for it off the ceiling. No fear whatsoever. And when you have players playing like that, it's scary for Hollidaysburg.
And that is a no goal off the crossbar, off the ground, and hitting the crossbar once again. Hollidaysburg right now unable to buy a goal if they wanted to. I mean, it just seems like everything is just going in favor of Penn Trafford right now.
Indeed it is. Now we're well under halftime here. Big Poppy's just going to take a light shot. It'll be easily cleared away by PK. Nathan off the sidewall trying to set up a double, but didn't get a lot of height on it. Still, Penn Trafford is double cutting several times on this ball when they look like they have a good chance, but Hollidaysburg is playing so far back in their half that they have no one to challenge it, and there's another chance. Rye not able to put that one away.
Yeah, Hollidaysburg, though, having no choice but to play back. I mean, the constant pressure and boost control that Penn Trafford has on them is absolutely astonishing. Big Poppy had a chance there, unable to make contact onto that ball. And once again, Penn Trafford on the offensive end it's just constant pressure. Great clear there from Trolleyman.
Now he's going to try to set up the offense. Approaching 90 seconds left in this game to the backboard. No boost, not a lot you're able to do there. Will get cleared out right off the ceiling. Maybe the double touch. No boost to finish that one, though. Nathan taking his time, tries to hit around one, does so, but Bird is just waiting for that touch. Poppy will come in, and that one clears to the midfield, but look at PK. Everywhere on the field right now, Penn Trafford always has a player ready for that clear.
Yeah, and right now, Penn Trafford absolutely controlling things, keeping the ball in the half of Hollidaysburg, and as they try and clear it, and that ball just barely goes past mid-line, and now Hollidaysburg is going to try and get on the offensive, but they can't in time. PK trying to do it all himself by picking the ball out of the air. Doesn't quite do so. Nathan trying to do it and does get enough of a touch to send it over. Trolleyman can't quite get it to go in. Right off the crossbar again. Hollidaysburg just needs to be a little more clinical in front of goal.
That was another chance. Poppy didn't get that one to go, and right now, Hollidaysburg, you've got to make these shots. Against a team like this, you've got to put these away when you have the chance. That's a great pass from Bird, but what a save. But Hollidaysburg, you don't need saves right now. You need goals. 18 seconds left to go. You've got to get one right now.
Yeah, a goal here would go a long way, but Bird trying not to make that happen. Trolleyman sending the ball towards the end of Penn Trafford. Is this the goal that they need? No, the ball goes just wide to the left, unable to put it in, and that will do it for game number 2. Penn Trafford takes this in a commanding 2-0 win, and honestly, I think the Hollidaysburg did a great job of getting their shots on net. Unfortunately, weren't able to capitalize on any of them. Penn Trafford taking that to go up 2-0 in that series.
Yeah, and Hollidaysburg, they cleaned up a lot of things that they
Yeah.
had from game number one, especially on the defensive side of things, but they just could not finish. And you have to. There's no other way to put it. Against a team like Penn Trafford, those opportunities are going to come few and far between. And we saw, what, 3 or 4 open nets that either hit the crossbar or were just wide. And you've got to put that. I mean, it just comes down to that. There's no other strategy that you need right now because you're clearly what you're doing is getting openings. But you've just got to hit the training packs after this match.
Yeah, you definitely need to. And then they would also have there's one situation they had a wide open goal and then they ended up double committing to it, which caused the shot to go wide. So maybe it's a little bit of a communication factor. Maybe that sub playing a little bit of a factor in that as well. But Hollidaysburg, like you said, they cleaned up a lot of their stuff from that first game, and honestly, they have a chance to take this next round, this next game, but they need to win 3 in a row in order to win this set. Not an easy feat to do. It's been done before, so don't count them out yet, but that's a big mountain for them to climb.
Having to reverse sweep the number 1 team in the league is no easy feat by no means, no matter how good you are or how good you are in terms of record. But now it's all going to come down to this last match. Hollidaysburg, you had a freebie given away. You had another one given away. Now it's do or die. Your back is against the wall. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, here we are, folks. Game number 3, starting off with a little bit of pressure from my trolley man trying to center in a pass from over. No one quite able to get onto it. That could have been a dangerous start there for Penn Trafford.
Yeah, very dangerous. Hollidaysburg starting off quickly in the offensive side of things, playing a little bit faster than we're accustomed to seeing off of the kickoff. Trollingman, a nice cut to keep this possession in. Both players there. PK will come out with the ball, though, and starting to get back into the Hollidaysburg side of things. Off the ceiling, one touch, maybe another one looking for the dunk. Unable to get it, though. This is still dangerous. Burb's going to take a shot, but that's not on target. And the demo comes out by Trollingman.
Yeah, it's looking like they want to go a little more demo heavy in this, try and get them out of rotation and out of position. I mean, they did a great job of it. That is 3 demos right now within the first minute. Either they're upset or this is their strategy to try and get Penn Trafford off of their spots, out of rotation, and see if they can capitalize it. But you also want to make sure you're demoing with purpose, not just doing it for just to do it.
You got to have some strategy behind those physical plays. It looks like they're trying to use it just to free up some space right now. Poppy, that's a nice pass. Rye will get a touch, though. PK waiting in the corner, gets the boost. That's a dangerous 50. Nathan almost sniping the net on that one. And Hollidaysburg, not something we're accustomed to seeing, is getting a lot of pressure in the half of Penn Trafford.
Yeah, it's like the sides have been switched. Completely different strategies on both sides. Constant pressure now in the end of Penn Trafford. But I say this, and I've said it before, you need to be careful about being out of position. And being out of position, that is a dangerous ball towards your own net. Does get saved, though, and now potential counterattack opportunity. No one's there to do it.
PK looked like he was trying to back pass his teammate. His teammate said, no, you take it. So PK's got to take it. Almost gets it past all 3 players. Burb will come in, not able to get the pinch. It does free up some space. Hollidaysburg was playing that shot. Eventually, though, touch does come out. PK getting demoed again. That's like the 5th demo right now for Hollidaysburg. Poppy a little bit too fast to that one. Nathan will come in, just launches it to the backboard, and maybe that's all you need. Lots of demos. It's got to be an open net off of the non-touch here from Burb on the back end.
Yeah, a great ball across. Burb with a little bit of defensive mistake, and Trolleyman makes them pay. The substitute coming up here, trying to do work for Hollidaysburg to bring them back in this, possibly the start of the reverse sweep. And if you're Penn Trafford, you need to change your game plan right here and now, because if you're not careful, this can get away from you.
Only the 2nd goal that Hollidaysburg has scored all series long, but they're getting it when it matters most. But PK wants to take that away. Maybe has the flip. Actually going to leave it for Burb. All 3 players for Penn Trafford stuck in the corner. It's going to like for a possible clear here from Hollidaysburg. Does get it past Burb, but Rye is waiting. Gets dunked by Trolleyman. Trolleyman showing his worth right now. Maybe the other dunk, unable to get it. And Poppy gets demoed on the counter. Look at PK, so speedy. Maybe the touch off the backboard. He's just going for demos.
Yeah, right now, it looks like Penn Trafford might be trying to adopt a little bit of the strategy that Hollidaysburg had, because they were able to get the pressure without the demos. So it's scary to think how much more pressure they can get with the demos coming out here. And right now, that's a great ball by Nate. Just over the head, but hits the crossbar yet again. Oh my goodness, that could have been a goal tonight. And just like that, I speak it into existence. Over rotation from Hollidaysburg, and Penn Trafford makes them pay to tie things up 1-1 here in game number 3.
And Poppy was just playing that left corner side, expected that ball not to just be shot by PK, but PK, great awareness to see where Poppy was, launched that one towards the net. Hollidaysburg, after such a promising start, gives one back up to Penn Trafford. Maybe Poppy can hear, launches it to the backboard. Trolleyman up quickly, has to beat out one, but it's going to be cleared away by Rye.
Yeah, and right now, Hollidaysburg desperately trying to get that ball back into the net of of Penn Trafford. And right now, Rye just weaving through the team, does get stopped eventually. And now, Nathan with a little bit of a flick up. Can a teammate get onto this? He does, but PK, that's too easy for that man. He will just save that 9 times out of 10, maybe even 10 times out of 10. Who knows? But,
dominant.
yeah, absolutely one of the best defensive players in the league. And right now showing us he's also one of the best offensive players. Maybe not this game, but definitely showed out in that first round.
Speaking of him, he's gonna have to play defense again, and he comes clutch again on the defensive side of things. Everyone rotating back for Hollidaysburg. He's gonna set up a quick shot from PK. Will be saved away by Trolleyman. Right here for the pinch. A nice wall pinch.
Yeah, I will say Trolleyman has been an excellent player in this game and throughout the whole series, honestly. Normally a substitute for Hollidaysburg. And right now, he's leading on points. He has more points than his 2 teammates combined. I mean, 1 goal and 3 saves on 2 shots. That's a pretty solid scoreline if you're a substitute. So, definitely making the most out of this opportunity that he's been given. But 20 seconds left. Now, tied game. Will we see overtime come out here? Trolleyman trying not to make that happen. And now counterattack potentially for Hollidaysburg.
Oh, Nathan, you've got a full ticket boost. Gets it past Rye. It's going to be an awkward touch. A double commit. It's going to set up Trolleyman. Trolleyman is going to take the shot.
Oh,
but no, he can't get to go off the post. And we're going to head into overtime for game 3.
Such a close opportunity there by Trolleyman to really cement himself possibly on this Division 1 roster. Unfortunately, not able to make it happen. Now we're heading into overtime. First goal wins in overtime, of course. And so there's no time limit on that. So we will see just how far we can go into overtime here.
Nice challenge from Trolleyman. Forced that one out, but no one for Hollidaysburg is there for the follow. Now Poppy will come in, a light touch trying to back pass to his teammate. I think he realized that no one for Penn Trafford was going, so tried to adjust to it. Right off the sidewall, looking to play patient, forcing out a touch, does so. Still going to stay on this one and be a menace, but they're not really getting very far past this Hollidaysburg defense because of the patience played right now.
Yeah, another thing you have to be careful about, though, is being too patient. Great save by Nathan there to stop what would have been an overtime goal. But speaking of an overtime goal, there it is. Rye puts it in to complete the 3-0. And just like that, Penn Trafford secures their #1 spot. And unfortunately, Hollidaysburg falls down to 3-2 on the season. I mean, what a great game that was on that last one, though.
Oh, most definitely a nail biter indeed. And like you mentioned, you got to be careful. You can't play too patient. We saw Trolleyman in the goalpost just waiting, kept waiting, waited to challenge, and then got beat out by the ball selling over his head. But Penn Trafford, dominant performance as we expected them to play. I don't think I expected a 3-0 today, but they still showed why they are the Titans of this league.
Yeah, definitely deserving so of that #1 spot. They have been absolutely dominant in this league, further proving that with a 3-0 against one of the #2 teams is nothing to laugh at, and potentially they might be running away as the favorites heading into the next stage. But I believe we have for our next match, it's going to be Bishop Carroll and then against Forest Hills. That's also going to be a really good game to watch.
It will be a good game. So we are going to go and set up that lobby, get all the players in. So don't go anywhere. We're going to run to a very short break, and we'll be back as quick as we can. Hello, friends, and welcome back to the, technically speaking, second match of the night and the final match. I'm Sis, joined alongside me again is Wilson. Now, Wilson, that was the Battle of the Titans, and now we're going down lower to the Battle of the mid-tiers, I guess you could say.
Yeah, and it's don't get it twisted. These are going to be some great matches, and Forest Hills has a chance to sneak up to that 2/3 area with a win today that would even them up with Hollidaysburg. So not like it's still a very important match for both teams as well, because Bishop Carroll wins this, they could be closing in on Gateway as well, barring what result they get from their game on the reschedule. So it's not, this game still has a lot of impact. Sure, it's not 1-2, but it is still very important. And honestly, it should be a great game to watch overall.
Getting into the rosters now for both teams. We're going to start with Bishop Carroll. And it's going to be maybe Freestyler. That is his name. He is iconic for his freestyle attempts and shots. Italian Schemo and Contori 77. And for the Forest Hills Rangers, it's going to be the man, the myth, the legend, Pig Beast, coming along with Hot Shot and the Mega Blaziken, who, if I recall correctly, is actually a sub up from Division 2. So 2 games today have both had 2 subs, Wilson.
Yeah, and I remember when I casted Division 2 a while back, I watched the Mega Blaziken play, and he seemed everywhere for Forest Hills in that. And pairing up with Pig Beast, this might be a whole different animal to fear. Forest Hills definitely trying to put the league on watch to maybe say, hey, don't count us out yet. We're still in this thing. We got some quality talent that we're ready to throw at you guys. But it should be a great match. I can't wait to see how well these two work together. And speaking of matches, we are getting into game number 1 here. We have Bishop Carroll in purple, Forest Hills, of course, in green. And early pressure in the way of Forest Hills. Not quite able to do anything with that, unfortunately.
Looking pretty nice here for Bishop Carroll. I like the looks. That's a great 50 to the midfield. Pigby, though, there to clear it. Bishop Carroll playing a little bit further back. Freestyle is going to set up this shot at Sam. Toss shot not able to get that one. Maybe the double, no, is going to be cleared away by Pig B. So both teams so far early on this first 30 seconds have both started off with some offensive time here. That's another shot, but it will be saved.
Yeah, and looked like maybe Freestyler tried to work a little bit of some magic, but turned out to be a little more on the maybe side. We're going to see a couple demos going in the way of Forest Hills here early on, trying to set an aggressive tone, but they also make sure, again, they don't overextend. We've seen it happen before several times in the last match, and Forest Hills a dangerous clear across the goal. Seeing if now Bishop Carroll can make him pay for it. Katori just unable to do so.
Like the shot attempt from Bishop Carroll, so close, but yet still we are held scoreless early on in this game. That's a very dangerous touch. He's gonna set up Pig B, but a nice save from Katori on the back end. Hot shot up quickly off the side while trying to hit up Blaziken, but Blaziken not quite able to be there. Pig B will just launch it down to the other corner. Both teams playing very fast, meeting each other with a lot of pace right now. You blink and they're in the other half, just like right now.
Yeah, and right now it's a dangerous ball across, unable to be put in though by Forest Hills, and it seems like both teams getting a good amount of pressure. One team gets pressure for about 30 seconds, and then it switches sides, and there's a lot of pressure on the other side. So I think it's just a situation of whose defense breaks first, and a dangerous double commit there. Thankfully, no one there to stop that though by Forest Hills, and now maybe a little bit of pressure.
Pass over to Freestyler. Freestyler trying to set up the air dribble. Didn't get the greatest first touch. Does manage to pinch it past one. No follow-up there. Is everyone waiting for the touch from Blaziken? Pigby met with the challenge by Contori. Italian, that's a very dangerous touch. Pigby was waiting to pass over to Blaziken. Blaziken's not able to be there fast enough, though. And Italian looks to clear it down the other side. Not a lot of power. Mega Blaziken will just launch it to the backboard. Has to get the touch here. Does so. And a nice shot.
There
and a nice
he is.
read from the sub. Starting off strong.
I told you that this guy was gonna be an issue, and he is proving that right now. Great aerial goal. Not the easiest of angles as well to score from. Puts it in that top right corner from a first position. Absolutely unreal goal from Forest Hills to go up 1-0 here in game number 1.
He said it was a tell of who breaks down defense first. Maybe another one for Forest Hills, but a nice save from Freestyler. Hot Shot's trying to keep this one in. Not the greatest touch. We'll stay on it, though. Just not wanting to give Bishop Carroll any sort of time in the ball. That's a great shot. No one home for Bishop Carroll, and Pig B getting on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and there it is again. You get out of rotation. No one on that back end to rotate for Bishop Carroll, or they're too late, and Forest Hills makes them pay. And if there's someone you don't want to give an open net, Pig B is the last guy you want having that open net. He is absolutely clinical in front of goal, and now goes for the flip reset off the ceiling and doesn't quite dunk it down. Almost did. Got it so close off the crossbar and down. That we almost just saw a top 5 play right there.
Flip reset into the musty double tap. Wasn't able to quite get it, but I like the plays nonetheless. Hot Shot with a pre-jump. Tried to get that one and wasn't able to do so, but still, Forest Hills starting to swarm on the offensive side of things. This is another chance. Blaziken, wait a second.
No.
Can't recover from the demo that he made. Pig B, that shot gets cleared away, but still, they are just swarming right now. They don't have to get another goal, but the pressure that they are mounting, Bishop Carroll is suffocating.
Yeah, Bishop Carroll also has to be careful because on that last defensive clearance that they had a triple commit in that edge. They were lucky that Blaziken wasn't able to put that down, but a great shot now coming out from Bishop Carroll, and it goes in. Maybe Freestyler there to get the long goal, and Forest Hills just unable to get onto it. Mega Blaziken caught out, and Hot Shot just wasn't there.
Freestyler and Pig B, the two players to look out for when they have time and space. Just a well-executed fake from Freestyler. Didn't really have to go up and touch it. Just the first initial touch was all he needed. Fakes the initial touch on the second one and gets the goal. Now a minute 4 to go. Bishop Carroll still down a goal. See what they could do here as they bump off Pig B. But that ball, you do not want it going back down to your half as little as possible.
Yeah, and right now, pressure's still staying on. However, Forest Hills needs to make sure to not give up another goal, and I think that's kind of creeping in the back of their minds. And it looks like Pig B trying to clear it out, just kicks it up in the air, but that's enough to get around Freestyler. Now he is taking off down the side. He's going to try to take things himself, however, that's a little too far. Hotshot is there, though, to try and regain for his team, but now potential mistake on the end of Forest Hills, but thankfully, they stop it and are now able to counterattack.
17 seconds left to go. Bishop Carroll, last opportunity to get something going in offense. Kentori just no boost, not able to get that touch. Italian no boost as well. Has to get one touch, but has to race back. That's on net, and no. See the rotation back. Got caught mid-flip here. Italian, not the greatest clear. Was rotating back, and his teammate just punted into him. Had to make the save. And that is disaster for Bishop Carroll.
That's just unlucky, honestly. I mean, you play good defense. Unfortunately, your teammate also went for it. Ball hits your teammate. It goes in. There's not really much you can do about that besides chalk it up and get ready for next game. And the Hotshot's going to pick up a goal here with 1 second. Trying to help that goal differential a little later on there and really cementing the win there for Forest Hills to take this game number 1. And honestly, all around the board, pretty solid from Forest Hills. Pretty average on the scoreline as well as stat-wise. I mean, the most shots they had was 3, and that going in the way of Pig B. And I think everyone else had the same amount of goals for Forest Hills. So great team play overall from them.
Pretty well evenly matched stats for this team. And Bishop Carroll, the scoreboard lies because, you know, those last 2 goals, the last few seconds, it really was a close game throughout. Don't take that 4-1 as that really being a pummeling, because it was a close game. Bishop Carroll, though, only able to get 2 shots total on net. Forest Hills with 7. So clearly, as we saw throughout that game, it was Forest Hills mainly leading the charge in offense throughout. Pig B, a little bit quiet. I know that's crazy to see him on top of the scoreboard and say he was quiet, but that's just the type of player that he is.
Yeah, and honestly, he really helped control the pace of that game, and also did great on the offensive end. I saw him with the 3 shots, 1 goal. Really helped control the pace for his team. But like you said, it was a closer game than the scoreboard dictates. Um, and I think Bishop Carroll is gonna make this an interesting series. Forest Hills does take game number 1, but I think Bishop Carroll needs to be a little more coordinated on defense. And they also need to try and prevent getting demoed so much because eventually that does wear down, especially if you have max boost. That's a long time you have to wait for that boost to come back. So you have to be careful to not let Forest Hills control the pacing of the game because then you run into another issue.
And we saw a lot of demos, I think, early on in that game. I think towards the last half, everyone kind of settled down, went ahead, and I guess played a little bit more reserved instead of going for so many demos. But Forest Hills really, they're one of those teams that like they're known for having kind of a slow start and then they ramp up. Pigby gets really hot. He starts leading the offense. He's kind of like the Michael Jordan of this team. We've said it a lot on this stream. We're gonna say it again. And Bishop Carroll, they started off strong, but they just really couldn't find their footing on offense.
Yeah, and honestly, it's kind of like the situation that it was for Hollidaysburg. You have to do better on the offensive end. When you get these looks, you have to capitalize on them because you won't get a whole lot. I mean, like you said, Pigby, when he's hot, he gets going, and if you're not gonna have a lot of chances if that's the case, if any, to be honest. And you need to make sure you capitalize on those. Otherwise, it is not going to be an easy feat to win that game.
Of course, we talked about Mega subbing up, and he started off this game scoring for Forest Hills, really leading the charge. He looked like he was perfectly in pace, feeling very nice on the start of things. And I think, Bishop Carroll, you have to be aware that Pigby, while he's the biggest threat, I think, to your team, you have to be aware of the other two players for Forest Hills. They are just as capable of being there, especially if Pigby starts passing. We've seen him hit so many passing plays. So, I mean, the possibilities for Forest Hills offense is endless, but at the same time, Bishop Carroll, we haven't seen their offense really set up. We've seen demos, sure, that's great, a few chances, but when are we going to start seeing the passing plays? When are we going to see the solo plays? Freestyler, that iconic player who's so good in the air, we've got to see some work from him.
Yeah, he tried to get it going, but unfortunately fell a little short on some of the techniques, so maybe not quite warmed up, or maybe Forest Hills did a great job of shutting him down with their positioning, just wasn't able to find anything open, but it's definitely not completely done yet. I mean, of course, we still have 2, possibly more games to go in this best of 5 series. So it's not completely out of the water yet if you're Forest Hills. So
no, it is most definitely not. Most definitely never. I mean, that's the joys of Rocket League as an esport. Just when you think that there's no hope at all, you have a reverse sweep. Just when you think there's no hope at all, you suddenly come back from a 4-1 game. Rocket League is such a fast-paced game, such a style of game that it can change in an instant. And most games don't boast that, which is what makes Rocket League such an entertaining force of a esport to really watch. It's so fun to watch people play, no matter what rank they are, because it could just change in the moment, in an instant, just like that.
Yeah, I believe we will be getting into the lobby soon here. We had a little bit of an issue with the last one, so hopefully we get that all sorted. But of course, don't go anywhere. We will have it up soon for you guys, and it should be a great thing to have. And speaking of, I believe we are getting into round number 2 here, folks. It is now Bishop Carroll in blue, Forest Hills, of course, in their green color. That forest green suits them so well. And Pigby trying to clear it out of his end is going to do so. See if he does anything in the air. Not quite able to find the flip reset. But Hotshot is there to keep the ball at midfield. And now we see some demos on the end of Bishop Carroll this time.
Yeah, some early aggression coming out, but still the ball in their half, floating dangerously. A double commit from Bishop Carroll. This is dangerous. Hotshot managed to side flip though, so Bishop Carroll will get bailed out of that one. Pigby to the sidewall looking for the double, does connect. Unable to get that follow through though, but still Mega is there. Gonna take a quick launch to the right side. Freestyler will control. Taking a lot of time there.
Yeah, that's not what you want to see if you are a fan of Bishop Carroll. I mean, that is not very good defensive rotation. You have 2 guys going the same area, and there is that man yet again. Mega Blaziken makes them pay. The sub scoring first for the 2nd game in a row. really help setting the tone for this match.
And I think Freestyler on the backboard there had a lot of faith in Italian's touch to get that 50. He looked confident going up, just wasn't able to follow through at the last second. So it will lead to an early goal, early scoring from Forest Hills by, like you mentioned, the same man who started scoring last game. And it looks like we're falling into the script as Pig B will be the second one to score again.
I mean, yeah, you said it yourself. This man is like the Michael Jordan of this league, and he shows us right there an incredible goal off the wall after getting the touch onto it. And I mean, there's just not much you can do if you're Bishop Carroll to stop that.
Especially when Pig B gets warmed up, it is a sight to see and very terrifying on the defensive side of things. Hotshot will get a demo on Freestyle on the back end, but this ball is still lurking in the Forest Hills. Have Italian the light touch looking for the double, does get it, floating in front of the net, but no follow-up from Bishop Carroll.
Yeah, and right now, if you're Bishop Carroll, you need to try and get a goal back, and that might have been the chance to do so. However, stopped quickly. Great awareness there by Forest Hills on the other end, and now maybe a little bit of a counterattack going, but Pigby not quite able to do anything with it. But no one there on Bishop Carroll to try and stop him. And now, ball in the end of Bishop Carroll, but looks like Italian's going to try and keep this ball in the end of Forest Hills.
Shot off the corner, the pass down to Mega. Mega has a lot of time to set this one up. Will launch it off to the corner wall, trying to land on it, is unable to do so. Now Freestyler, very hard initial touch, was trying to control that one. Pinch floating high to the midfield, hot shot. A little bit too hot on that one, unable to get the read. Pigby will just launch this to the backboard. Oh no, Pigby, the backboard read, is he gonna do it? Yes, he will. Pigby,
you gotta
he
get
has
that
time. You gotta challenge him.
You cannot let that ball bounce off the backboard and let Pigby freely get in the air, because 9 times out of 10, that's gonna be a goal. I mean, he makes it look so easy. That is in fact not easy, folks. Pigby right now setting the tone for his team. I mean, 432 points on the board. Make that 500 now with a great save. And make that another great save. And another save. I mean, this is like a game of ping pong right now. The ball is just being sent from one end to the other. Blaziken not able to put it in. Pigby, though, centering it and not quite able to get onto that one.
Rare Pigby miss on the follow-through. It's going to send a Freestyler off the ceiling looking for the ground pinch. Unable to get it, but it does maybe set an Italian, but Hotshot with the clear and Contori, a very dangerous touch. That's not what you want to see. It's going to be an open net for Hotshot, and Bishop Carroll just crumbling.
Yeah, Bishop Carroll with no defensive rotation there. Too much offensive pressure leads to a mistake on the defensive end. And, of course, Forest Hills capitalizes on that to make it 4-0. Not the best of starts, but there is a potential for a comeback. I mean, 2 minutes left is a lot of time in Rocket League. However, you're 4 goals down. You need to start getting going to work on the offensive end.
Oh, this is going to be a dangerous touch from Mega. It's going to be an open net for Contori. He's got to put it away, and just a series of missed touches by both teams on the defensive side of things. It does give Bishop Carroll a goal, but they still need 3 in a minute and 48. That's not an easy task.
Yeah, but if they can continue to force defensive mistakes like they just did, it's doable if you're Bishop Carroll. I mean, that was a very quick goal, so leaves a lot of time on the end of Bishop Carroll to try and mount this comeback. And maybe we'll see Freestyler try and do something here now. However, Pigby, so hard to get a goal when that man is on the other side of the field, and even harder to do when you take the ball across your goal like that. Hot shot able to make him pay. Freestyler, that is not a good play on the ball right across your own goal. That is how you give up an easy one, and we just saw it there.
Freestyler, I know you are a freestyler. Well, you're maybe a freestyler according to your name, but we gotta be careful trying to set up those types of shots. And speaking of setting it up, that's a dangerous double commitment. Contori falls on the ball to save it. But I mean, 5-1, a nice save. He's got to get something on the counterattack. Italian will launch it to the sidewall, but that man Pig B is up so quickly for that one.
Yeah, and right now the comeback is looking less and less likely. Down 4 goals, a minute left. A great stop there by Italian, though. And now he needs to try and clear it. Not the best of clearances. Cantori, what a save coming across the goal, trying to do it all for Bishop Carroll on the defensive end. 3 saves for him now as they're going to try and come back. Pigby trying to work a little bit of magic, unable to do so. And now the clear is going to come out for Forest Hills.
I'm almost all but over right now for Bishop Carroll. They really need a goal mathematically, like right now, but when I said they need a goal, I did not mean in their own net.
Yeah, not exactly the play you want to see if you are a Bishop Carroll fan. And Pigby, though, making them pay with that pressure, and 3 goals for him with 2 saves on 3 shots and an assist. I think it's safe to say he is warmed up.
I think I maybe have spoken into existence for Bishop Carroll.
Yeah.
I apologize because I said when he gets warmed up is scary, and he's almost at 1,000 points. He's not gonna hit it this game, but we've seen him hit it before. And right now, 10 seconds left to go. Maybe he's gonna get one more for the road. Almost flips it past everyone, but yeah, I don't think he can get it out. Mega's gonna get one though.
Oh, Mega Blaziken
does set up the Brazil.
Yeah, he does. 7-1. Look away if you're from Germany. I mean, all Forest Hills in this one, but there are some key takeaways if you're Bishop Carroll. Mainly in the end of Cantori, maybe having him play back a little bit. He was so good on the defensive end for them. And however, you need the other players to step up on the offensive end. I mean, not the best game offensively from Bishop Carroll, and honestly, only 4 shots on the whole game for Bishop Carroll. Kind of a step back from the first one.
I almost feel like a broken record at this point with how many times I talk about Forest Hills when they're playing. It is, well, just shut down Pigby. Well, it's easier for me to say that because I'm not in the game. But when you're playing against him, I mean, at this point, just send your whole team to demo him because he is just doing so much work for your team. Bishop Carroll, I mean, every single time that they get a counter, they get something that looks somewhat promising for them, it's Pigby intercepting it, taking it away, and it's just offense all over again.
Yeah, but another thing you need to be careful. If you send everyone after him, you got no one else to hit the ball. So maybe sending out one person isn't such a bad idea, trying to make the game a 2v2, keeping Pigby out of it, but that is a very tall ask, as you said. Just like being like, oh, just stop him. You know, it's super easy. It's one of those things. It's easier said than done. And he was definitely the difference maker for Forest Hills and allowed them to get that commanding victory. I mean, rock solid on defense, amazing on offense, clinical in front of goal. I mean, what more can you ask from him?
I mean, you really can't. He's perfect on defense. He's perfect on almost perfect on offense. I mean, no player is perfect in Rocket League, but he's that good.
That
mechanically. Maybe Justin.
Maybe Justin.
But I mean, hey, Justin didn't even manage to qualify for the playoff stage from the last major. But yeah, I know. I mean, Pigby is just so gifted mechanically that even when he puts himself in awkward spots where he's left in awkward positions, his mechanics bail him out of those spaces. And Bishop Carroll right now, they have just not been able to find an answer for that. We've seen a few chances, but I mean, their offensive time of possession, it's like 30 seconds a minute per game. That's not a lot of time on the ball.
Yeah, and honestly, Forest Hills just absolutely controlling it. Kind of pulling out Penn Trafford strategy of just keep holding the ball for as long as possible and just berating the enemy with shots. And eventually that defense will break, and we saw it break very badly in that last match. I mean, 7 goals, that's a lot.
That is definitely a lot. No team wants to know that they got Braziled, and guess what? They got Braziled, and right after they got Braziled, they have to set up a reverse sweep. But a sub, it's not really a sub. The main player for the sub has subbed out the sub for Forest Hills, so they got their full roster back.
I'm going to pretend like I just followed that. I'm just going to watch this amazing game number 3 here, folks. And right off the bat, Forest Hills trying to put on some pressure. Great defense, though, from Bishop Carroll, and a chance to maybe counterattack here.
Freestyler the one setting it up, but Pigby doesn't want to give them any time to set up any sort of fancy plays, and he's still going to stay on this one. Cantori will get the ball away from him. Freestyler cutting the rotation, does get the ball, can't get the second touch. Hot shot will dive in, Italian will 58 out. Several neutral 50s. That one is definitely not a neutral one as it flies all the way down to the Forest Hills half.
Yeah, and a little bit better offensively, but Pigby, I don't think that's what he went for, but it worked out in his favor anyways. I mean, I think the team fell for the fake out there, and also Freestyler not the best of positions defensively, and Forest Hills goes up early 1-0.
Sometimes, as my wise friends directly like to tell me, doing absolutely nothing on the ball is your best option.
Oh, yeah.
One touch, all he had to do, and he faked out the rest of them by not hitting it. That's just the respect that Bishop Carroll has for Big B that you have to give him, that he's able to get several touches off the ceiling like that.
Yeah, and right now, dangerous ball along the ground. Chance for a good shot. And there's that man again, Pigby. This guy is just everywhere. We see him demo Freestyler, saying, hey, I'm not gonna let you get onto this ball. Maybe the next one, champ.
Nice block from Freestyler. Big B will dive in off the corner looking for the second touch, though. So maybe the third touch does get it. Not gonna be able to get out into the net. Still getting bumps, doing a lot for his team, but Hotshot was caught up in the net. Now Freestyler trying to get off the ceiling, does have the flip to the musty, to the backboard, to the double. Almost able to get that one, but not quite finishing it.
Yeah, that might have been a contender for top 5 plays if you put that one in, but right now it seems like the sub for the sub maybe caught out a little bit there as Bishop Carroll evens things up. Freestyler there to capitalize on the mistake of Pigby, a rare mistake there indeed. But it seems like whenever Pigby and Hotshot go up, M-Gray's staying back a little too far. I mean, we saw them get pressure and it not quite able to put it in. Was the sub for a sub, but right as I say that, he must have heard me. I'd like to apologize. What a great goal there by M-Gray from off the wall and off the kickoff. What a goal there to give Forest Hills back the lead.
I guess the super the subbed out the sub, got caught lacking a subway, but now he's back. Try to say that one 3 times fast, but no, McGray get on the scoreboard himself, 2-1.
Too many subs.
Too many subs indeed.
Making me hungry.
I think Forest Hills is hungry to take this game because they are looking hot right now. They've got the lead. We're approaching halftime, but maybe Bishop Carroll could get something here. Italian will pass it down. Freestyler looking for the redirect. He does get it, but that's not going to be enough power to get past Pig B.
Yeah, you're talking about all these subs, and then we have someone in the lobby whose name's Italian. I mean, come on, man. I cannot be hungry watching this. But right now, Pigby trying to work a little bit of his magic. Hotshot coming out from downtown, unable to put it in. M-Gray going to try and keep it in right now. Right then would have been the time for Bishop Carroll to counterattack, and we see a ball go towards the goal. Nothing of harm coming out of it as Pigby is there to stop it as well. It was also going wide as well, and Pigby almost worked a little bit of his magic right there.
I think Freestyler understanding that the sooner he gets up in the air to challenge Big B, the better, and it's been working so far. Not trying to give him a lot of time in the ball. He will be up again for that double, but that one's not going to find its way to the net. I had a pause there. I thought Hotshot was going to get a double there. Freestyler will take control, just weaving his way past one. Not able to get the full boost, though. I think Forest Hills recognizes McGray's going to come in. Gets 50 by Katori, though. This is a good chance, but it's straight down to Pig B.
Yeah, right now, Forest Hills defense, besides that one lapse that we saw earlier on, is looking really good so far. They just have to be careful to not overcommit as we see a double commit at midway. That is something you don't want happening if you're on the side of Forest Hills. But Pigby just everywhere. I mean, he makes it look so easy. And I just don't know how. Maybe I'll pay for some coaching sessions after this. The rate he's going, he's looking absolutely unstoppable.
Big B, one of those players that is so gifted at reading the play, has no fear. He can make those pre-jumps because he has the ability to read these plays. And speaking of reading, he's not going to read that one. I got a little too caught up complimenting him, so he's going to back pass this one. A Hotshot does get it through. A demo in the backfield on McGray. Maybe sets up Bishop Carroll here, but there's so much space. The Hotshot, the flick. Ooh. That one's off the bar, but I mean, Bishop Carroll, a familiar territory of getting stuck on their half. They need a goal or this series is going to get out of hand.
Yeah, Bishop Carroll right now playing a lot better defense than last game. However, 30 seconds. They need a goal fast. I mean, this has been back and forth between both teams. It seems Forest Hills is able to get 2 or 3 shots off, but then Bishop Carroll makes them sweat a little bit on the counterattack. We see a great save there by Freestyler. Hotshot puts the ball across, and Gray is not quite there to put it in. And Pigby clears it though. 8 seconds left. And hot shot. Dangerous ball across now. Bishop Carroll still has a chance to put this one in.
Oh.
And oh, it's so close off the post. Unable to do anything. And Forest Hills will take that. And that, I believe, is that series. I mean, wow, what a game that was.
Oh, utter heartbreak. Italian Schemo had the chance, had the shot
What a
opportunity.
shot.
So close, just not able to find the back of the net. So it will be a 3-0 to Forest Hills. I just laughing because I see Freestyler asking Pigby for a freestyle 1v1. That would definitely be an interesting match. I think I'd be seeing a lot of clips for that one. But
that would
Hills.
be, yeah. I feel like that'd be some really good goals coming out of that one for sure. And maybe something we should be taking a look at. But I think that is it. Do you have any closing remarks on that match?
I mean, Pigby.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pigby.
yeah. Leave it there. That it's
Yeah.
the storyline for Forest Hills.
That's all we need to say. I mean,
It's every time. He's just that good. He's just that good.
It's just unreal. He was a difference maker for sure, and I think he's on. Forest Hills is one of the best teams in this league, as they now tie up for that possible second place spot. It depends on the other second place team, what happens with their match. Of course, that got rescheduled. So be sure to tune into that next week. And then, of course, next week, same time, you'll be seeing some more Rocket League action, D2 and possibly D1 as well. And then, of course, tomorrow at 3:30 Eastern Standard Time. Don't want to miss out. As Overwatch season continues, D1 will take place on this one. And then starting at 4:30, D2 will be taking place on the TEC High School League. So be sure to check that out. Some of those matches are going to be absolutely unreal to see. Some great talent, of course. And then, of course, in the Twitch chat, type in !socials to follow the esport company and keep up with everything that is involved with that. And then you can do !casters to find either my info or Siz's info as well. Be sure to follow either one of us to keep updated on what we're doing, so you might catch us on some other channels. But you got anything else for us tonight?
I think that was some great Rocket League matchups today. Two big games and 2 sweeps. I mean, both teams had a way of dominating today, and the losers, they're going to be putting in the hours, putting in the work to try to grind and get better. But like you said, that does wrap it up for us here at the Esport Company. Hopefully you'll be watching some Overwatch and some more Rocket League that'll be taking place next week. We'll be catching you later.
See you guys later.